So the next question I have for you is, I know you're, are you writing, and what has your writing process been like lately? Has it changed since the quarantine?
Yeah. That's what I was saying about your question earlier when you were talking about like I this whole 2020 it's been so hard in so many ways, but like I found my rhythm. You know what I mean? As an artist, I found my rhythm.
Right.
And so for me, like for me, like my natural inclination. You talking about first drafts? My natural inclination is over to be wordy, to like overwhelm all my paragraphs and sentences and shit. Like that's my natural inclination. But during COVID, I kind of been able to sit back and just have real talk, more confidence, and not have to make every sentence try to be neon. I want
Mm-hmm.
the book to be neon. I want the entire shit I'm making to be neon. I don't need every word to be neon, because if the whole graph is neon, then ain't nothing in the graph neon. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you gotta, So I found my rhythm, and I think I found it because yeah, I hope I didn't find it because of Black Death. I hope I found it because of Black awakening and love and trust and care. But this has been scary for a lot of us, and I don't know. It just helped me find my rhythm as a writer.
Okay. And are you more excited about the reprints of your books than the initial printing?
Man, I want to say yeah. I want to be like yeah. I'm way more excited, but I'm not. You know what I mean? The thing about those reprints is that I just signed terrible deals, and I wanted to sign better deals because partially during this pandemic, I was like, my family and or me could be dead tomorrow.
Right.
So I wanted one more fair and lucrative deals for those books for my, if I were to pass. And secondly, I actually do believe in revision. Like I believe that those books that I put out a few weeks ago or that I revised, I think they're better books. You know what I'm saying? Like Long Division, when it comes out and people get it, like the book in and of itself is a piece of fucking art. Like the book that you hold in your hand, like the cover, it's a flip book. If you hold it one way, it tells you one story. You flip it, it tells you another story. But I was real excited when them motherfucking books came out, which is why I signed them for like $2. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I was so hyped to have a book deal. I was just like, oh, you want to give me $5 for these motherfucking books? Okay, here you go. What else can I do for you, sir? You know, shit.
Okay, so which was the hardest to write, considering all of your books in some way are some form of fashion art, your own actual life experiences? Which book was the hardest to write, do you think?
Oh, shit. Heavy, shit. Heavy, heavy, heavy. I
I,
mean,
I
I got a mama. I got a mama.
Yeah.
I got a mama, and and I love my mama, and I put that book out, and that shit was hard.
Do you regret anything that you put in heaven? You like that wasn't really none of y'all business, because you know how black people be like, some stuff just need to stay in house. do, do you regret anything that you had? Any tidbit that you gave us um in through heaven?
Yeah, yeah, I sure do. But it's you know what, fam? It's like I don't know if you do this, but sometimes I think when you grow up and you have like the state and the nation kind of tell you it from birth that you're not worth shit, and you have communities and parents or elders or whatever tell you that you are worth shit. Like I think it makes people think that when they get shit, it's like you have to give up something to get something, right?
Right.
So for me, sometimes I wonder, in my mind, I'm like, damn, did I give up my health for professional success? And in heavy, it's sometimes I'm just like, if I hadn't written that book that way, would I be able to take care of my family as well as I can? And I don't know the answer to that question, but I do know that there's some things in there I wrote about my mama and me, not just my mama, but me, that if I could do it again, I would. I'm not saying I would take them out, but I would write them in a way where there was less emphasis put on it. You know what I mean? Like, um, everybody. If my mom was here, she would be telling me like, everybody you write to, Key, doesn't love you.
Mm.
And I think I wrote heavy because I was writing it to her. I wrote it as if the people who were reading it had love for us,
Right.
and they don't. Right?
Right.
Some do, but a lot of people do. So I would do it differently. You know, I'd do it differently.
So, okay, do you look at like, I mean, being that this is like your third or fourth that's coming out, do you still look at critiques of your writing, and how do you deal with the critics? Because I just asked this because I saw where an author was going and looking up their name, and then she was being a comment warrior with bookstagrammers about something that they said about her work, and it was just a hot mess to me. So I wanted to ask this to the people.
Nah, that's a great question. You know what? You know what though, fam? It's like I got into like I got into the writing thing kind of late. You know what I mean? I got into writing early, but in terms of publishing, I got into it late. So I didn't publish my first piece until like 2012, and that was How to Sell a Kill Yourself and Others, like that essay. And after that essay went viral, they asked me to write at Gawker every week, and instead of writing every week, I was like, I want to edit an essay series. So working at Gawker, writing and also editing people and seeing how the way people were treated, particularly women and particularly black women, like by the commenters, you kind of like just harden up your shit. So like, people can write whatever the fuck they want to write about me, but like if they write it and they writing about my writing, 99.9999999% of the time I can beat their ass in writing. So I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm trying to tell you?
I
Like,
get it.
that's not big headed or nothing. Like, I long for critique. But if a motherfucker gonna go online or go on a motherfucking thing and try to diss my writing, like, how I look giving a fuck what you say about my writing when I can beat you? Like, you mad? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think you got to toughen up that muscle. Like, you can tell when people mad, and like, I ain't gonna lie, my nigga. Like, I like when motherfuckers get in there and try to start. Like, white people love to try to come into your Twitter feed or send you emails about how your subjects and your verbs didn't agree. There was misspellings on page 27. You know what I'm saying, man? Fam, I could write your whole motherfucking biography, nigga, and show it to your family and set these motherfuckers on fire and have them asking themselves, is my name really Charles? Like, I can do that. So, like, why the fuck am I gonna give a fuck about some random nigga telling me I can't write?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So,
right.
I used to care. I used to be real tight. I used to be like, we from down, where we from. We all got people or we got cousins who don't play.
Right.
Like when I first started doing this shit, like my people would read some comments somebody wrote and they'd be like, yo, bruh, you want me to? I'm like, nigga, no. I don't want you to go kill nobody over no comment. We good, So
Yeah.
it's all good. Shit, it's all good.
And okay, of course, I gotta ask you because you've done nonfiction now. You worked your way into fiction. You've done essays. So, will we ever see like a collection of short stories from you? Are you gonna dabble in it? Because
Yeah, I'm gonna dabble in it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna dabble in it. I think you're gonna see some short stories from me. I don't think you're gonna see them in the next 2 years.
Okay,
But
that's fair.
I think that's gonna be. I want. Yeah, I think you're gonna see something from me. But they're gonna be interconnected though. Like I like short stories and short story connect. One of the things I love about Jason Reynolds,
The GOAT.
is that he is the GOAT. That's the main thing I love about Jason. And he's able to write short stories that are interlocked that create a larger narrative that novel. So if I write short stories, they're gonna be connected by a telephone, a block, a $2 bill that gets like passed along. What I mean, there's something that's gonna connect them all.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because that Look Both
Yeah.
Ways was phenomenal, and I don't know if
Yo, Look Both Ways is a bomb, and people want. I mean, everybody who reads Jason, like who we know who Jason is. We know we all looking up, But I think sometimes Jason feels this, and it's true that a lot of times people don't even look at like writing for young adults as writing.
that's the
Like,
craft.
when that shit harder than a motherfucker.
Woo!
It's harder than all this bullshit we doing. You know, and Jason about to hit everybody upside the head with his new novel, and you know, sometimes you just got to be prepared to be smacked. And I've just been like preparing myself for a minute. You know, he Jason loves us, but that motherfucker loves writing, fam. He can do it. He can go.
He
He can go.
is phenomenal, and my kids love him.
He
I
can
love
go.
him. I done read almost everything from Jason. So, and have you met my friend Maisie Card with These Ghosts of Family?
I I was lucky enough to read and blurb Macy's book, but I haven't met her in real
Look,
life.
Maisie, and I know you done read the book. So we talk about interlock stories, and everybody in the comments know that's my jam. Okay, so
That's the book, fam. That Macy Carr is like one of them talents that like you gotta wait. You need to whisper in people's ear because you know, and then by the end of the month or year, everybody be like, somebody told me about Macy Carr. You know, because Macy Carr is like like I hadn't even read a book structured like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
ever,
the structure of it, fam,
ever.
in my history, in the history of reading. So Macy Carr, yo, we need to push that more. I'm glad you brought that up, Macy, and I know Macy fucks with messes with Rob real tight. So like that's what I love about what's happening now. I mean, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people out here. Robert said this 2 days ago. It's not competition as much as it is community,
Right.
and if there is competition within community, it's loving competition. I hope, you know.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about your. Okay, so we're talking about writers and writing and that kind of thing. Do you ever feel like more of a fan when you're talking to other writers? And who made you say to yourself, "Damn, I'm really in conversation with, you know, this person over here"?
I mean, see, all right, look, I don't know if I told this story out loud before. Maybe I did, but Toni Morrison and the Toni Morrison Society asked some of us to present at this talk in New York City at this sort of event, and Toni Morrison was there for half of the thing, and Morrison is the universe to most of
Right.
us, right?
Sun, moon, and stars.
And
Okay.
yes, fam. Like, and then I came in the joint about to get in, and then I saw her over there, and then the person who invited me, who told me Tony love your work, was like, "Oh, I can't wait to invite you for Tony." Child, I went over there. You know, my palms all sweaty. Remember that scene in Malcolm X where Malcolm about to meet Elijah Muhammad
Yes.
and he started crying and shit? I'm sitting in there. I'm writing the scene already, and in my mind, I'm like, Tony looks in my eyes and she doesn't say much, but she says just, you know what I mean? I'm writing the scene, fam. Why when they introduced me to Tony, so the lady was like, "Oh, this is Kiese Laymon, blah 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 blah," and then Tony was like, "Did you say it was time to go?"
Oh my
When you talk about a motherfucker, nigga, you talk about nigga heart, motherfucking sinking all up in motherfucker. I was like, you don't know where to throw your eyes. I threw my eyes down at that carpet and I looked up. I'm looking around and then she's in a wheelchair. Child, they wheeled her off and I'm like, oh, okay. I said I guess that count as talking to Toni Morrison. Somebody introduce you to her and then she say to the person to introduce you, "Is it time to go?" You know what I'm saying? So Morrison is somebody who I felt lucky just to be in the presence of, even if she played me like I wasn't shit because I wasn't shit to her. But other than that, yeah, I feel like I feel lucky to be in conversation with a lot of people you talked about so far. You know what I mean? Like I'm definitely in conversation with Jasmine. I'm definitely in conversation with Ta-Nehisi. Most definitely in conversation. Definitely in conversation. I think with I want to be in conversation more with Disha's fiction. I'm trying to create some stuff that can allow myself to be in conversation. So yeah, I'm in the conversation with a lot of people, but Morrison was the only person who I was just like smitten by, and she let me know who I was, you know.
Because even when you was talking to Nikki Giovanni, I was screaming the whole time. Like, this
Yo,
is
Nikki Giovanni, but here go the thing, fam. Like, this is the thing about those famous people, regardless of their age. Like, Nikki Giovanni and I, like, we shared the stage before.